Okay, so on this new layer that has the text based out of a photo, if you double click over here on the right side, so you know that if I double click on the text, that allows me to rename it. But if I double click over on the right, it pulls up layer styles. Okay, so layer styles have a lot of different options here, but the one that we're going to choose today is going to be, maybe we choose a stroke and put in like a 5-pixel stroke. And then we can add a bevel and emboss. And each one that you click on has a lot of different options that go with it so that you can play with how it looks. So by me adjusting the size of this bevel and emboss, it makes it kind of look like it's curved or rounded at the top. And I can click OK to commit to it. And once it has one of those layer styles, you'll see that the layer actually tells you what it has, and it has that FX. Okay? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is type on a path or the shape. So I'm going to go to, where am I going to go? All right, so I'm going to use my horizontal type tool. So I'm back on there. And down here at the bottom, I have shapes, and I have lots of different shapes. So the first one I'm going to use is going to go ahead and be the ellipse tool. And actually, I'm not going to use the ellipse tool. I'm going to use the Polygon tool. And if I click and point, or sorry, point and click rather, it allows me to choose what I want. So I can choose to make a star, and I'm going to go ahead and say cancel real quick because I noticed that my mode is up here on pixels. I want it actually on shape. So check that first. All right, so now I'm going to do the point and click, make it a star, and click OK. Now it's not a very big star, so I know that I can do a couple of things. I can resize it using this up here, and let's see what that does. 400 is bigger, but not big enough. I'm going to make it even bigger than that. So about 1,000 pixels should be fine. And you know that you can do rotate. Actually, if you hit scale, it allows you to put your cursor around the outside. Oops. Well, usually it lets you put your cursor around the outside. There it is, so that you can adjust how it is. Okay, so you notice that this just had a stroke to it, and I probably should have pointed that out first. No fill, just a stroke. And if I go back to my text tool and get my text from this type text document again, I can copy it. And notice that when I place my cursor outside of the path, notice how it changes to where it has that little wavy line. And I can then paste. Now, again, remember that it holds on to the same text, so I'm going to come up here and reset my character panel. And then it fits a whole lot better. I could, if I wanted, change the font to Arial. I'll try Arial Narrow. And maybe I'll do 15 points so that I can see it better. Okay? Now, I do want you to notice that your path and your shape are two separate entities. So sometimes it might be in your design style to actually have the shape there with the text, or maybe not. That's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and hide the shape. All right, so I'm going to get my shapes again, and notice at the bottom there's a custom shape tool. With my custom shape tool up here at the top, I have a heart. So I am going to click and drag and make a heart. Again, it's just a stroke. It's not a fill. And this time, when I use my type tool, look how my I-beam changes when I click inside of the heart. And now I can paste inside of there. Again, I can use my character panel to change things up. Okay, so I could use a brush script or something of that nature, and I can adjust the alignment to make it fit whatever I want. I can keep the shape behind it, or I can move it. It's up to you. But if you do decide to move this somewhere else on your page, make sure you select both pieces. Okay? So, next I am going to choose the horizontal type tool, and I am going to type Mustangs. Whoops. And I'm going to do all lowercase. And I am going to choose impact. And let's see, 150 might be a little big. Let's do 80. All right, so I'm going to do 80. I am going to choose a color. And then I'm going to come up here and do my warped text. Now, you can choose whichever one you want. I am going to choose the flag. I want you to notice that you have options. No matter which one you choose, you have options, whether you apply it vertically or horizontally, how much bend is in it, okay, and how much distortion you have, whether it be vertical or horizontal. So I'm going to keep mine like that and click OK, and you can experiment with a couple to get it how you want it. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type Mustangs again. Whoops. Only this time I'm going to make it smaller. There we go, 40. And move it out of the way. And on your character panel, you have this right here, which is the baseline shift. So if I select the U and baseline shift up 10, and then up 20, and then at 10 again, the next one at 0, then this one -10, -20, and then -10, and then I can actually throw in 1 just to get it back to 0. You can see how the baseline shift can create kind of a roller coaster effect. And I just use 10 because it's a nice round number, but you can use anything you want. Move it up a lot or a little bit on the little roller coaster. Okay, so go ahead and make sure that you have saved your file as a PSD. You want to save it into your OneDrive, into your Photoshop folder, and then remember, you must save it also as a JPEG so that it can go on your Canvas portfolio.